So you've bought a Quest 2 or even a Quest 3 and I've run out of money for the games. Now you've looked online and watched videos of free Quest games, but you keep getting recommended the same games over and over again. Well, have no fear, WaqMan is here. Today we're going to go through the top 10 free Quest games that you have never heard of. My aim is to make sure you get some new games to play at least. Talking about free, remember we have our 60k subscriber special giveaway still on, where as soon as we hit 60k, the winner can select any VR game they want. To enter, simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, put on bell notifications and comment hashtag WaqMan60k down below. Now just before we start, I would like to talk about the sponsor of this video, Survival Nation. Are you looking for an open world RPG in VR where you can level up, gain new skills, new abilities, new weapons, a full crafting system, survival mechanics like hunger and thirst, where you need to hunt the food for yourself by either fishing or killing animals and then cook it yourself, or find sodas and water, as well as killing a lot of zombies, plus being multiplayer in co-op or PvP? Well, Survival Nation is a perfect game for that. This is a casual zombie shooter and has a very addictive game style, where you can kill zombies, level up, earn money and kill zombies some more, and keep moving forward. The map is quite big, so you have a lot to explore, and the community is great, even has fully voice-acted NPCs. So if you like the sound of the game, check out Survival Nation, available on both Quest and Steam. Well, let's get straight into the video. Now this list isn't in any particular order, but hopefully you will find something new and awesome to play. Number 1. Rival Rides. Do you want Fall Guys in VR? Well, this isn't really that, but it's kind of similar, which is basically having the same color theme and similar aesthetics. And this is a game where you can play 4 separate minigames. This is also an online multiplayer game, which is also similar to Fall Guys. The first game is basically a cooking game where you need to make the orders for the customers as fast as you can. But you also need to sabotage the other players to slow them down. The one with the most point wins. So you want to destroy the other player's food, set their place on fire, or just make sure they don't win. Then you have another minigame where you're in the minecart and shoot diamonds and coins to go faster against the other players. You can even use a rubber band to pull them back if they're too far ahead. Then you have 2 more games, one where you're again in a cart but this time working together with the other players, and the final one is a zero gravity PvP. Overall, it's a great game, especially if you have friends to play with, and this game used to be paid but is absolutely free now, so definitely check out Rival Rides. Number 2. Shootout. This is an interesting and somewhat unique game. Now, it is a typical FPS game, however they've added features where there are 18 different unique parts that can also be used to modify your weapons and make over 1,000 different combinations. These would give offensive and defensive modifiers. And there are also multiple different abilities that you can utilize, as well as grappling and jetpack jumping. Currently there are 3 game modes. One is Team Deathmatch, the other is Capture the Flag, and the last one is just the hangout mode where you can't die, and it is what it's said to be, a hangout place. I don't really care for that mode, as I'm out there for a mission, which is to win. The graphics are also decent. Now the game is in alpha, so again not sure how long it will remain free. Hopefully for a while, as it definitely needs more players. But it should get better when it comes out of the alpha stage. Number 3. Suck It. Now this isn't the DX sign, but it's essentially that mobile game Hole.io, but with a gun, and in VR. You essentially go around sucking up supplies and growing bigger as you do. This is supposed to be a multiplayer game similar to Hole.io, but unfortunately not that many people play it. So for VR, who are the developers, really need to add AI bots into the game at least. Otherwise, it just seems a bit pointless. You are on the leaderboard at the end, but the AI bots are a must at least. Considering 4VR does make reasonably good games, I'm surprised they haven't added this already. But there are a few different maps you can play, as well as being able to pick from different avatars such as sharks, cats, ducks, or a robot. But since you're in VR, it doesn't really matter, since you can't really see them. You can pick different style weapons though, but they all do exactly the same thing, so it's more aesthetic. I think the game had potential, but because of the lack of players and missing features, it's an okay one to check out, but since it's free, why not? Number 4. Glass Breakers. Now, I don't know how long this one will be free, so make sure you play it immediately. Now, this game has been developed by Polyarc, the same people that made Moss. Now, that is a big deal as those games are amazing. This game is kind of like a mini RTS, where your warriors, who are literally the cutest critters I have ever seen, who will go up against your opponents. You will need to defeat the warriors as well as their crystals. The game currently doesn't have that many people playing it, but I'm guessing because not many people know about it. However, even if you can't find anyone to play against, you will always have the AI. And the AI isn't that bad. A little easy once you get used to the game, but it's still a lot of fun. So this is one I actually highly recommend, and I suggest you check out Glass Breakers as it has amazing graphics, awesome gameplay, and again I'm not sure how long it will be free. Number 5. Cardio Combat. Now this is trying to combine cardio and fighting together. And honestly, that is easy to do, as fighting in VR is always a cardio workout. The gameplay is relatively simple though, where you just fight people, punching them, sending them flying away. You can even fight a group of people. The graphics are also decent. There is an element of progression as you level up the more you fight. The claim is that it will take you around 10 hours for you to level up. In this version of the game, there are 2 stages that are free, but if you really enjoy it, there is a paid version now as well. Overall, it's a fun fighting game, but I wouldn't expect too much from it. But since this version is free, just check it out anyway. Number 6. Next Move. Well, this is like a parkour Prince of Persia game, where you can reverse time if you mess up and fall. Next Move is essentially a platformer game where the only time movement happens is when you physically make it, meaning you cannot move with your joystick, meaning you have to physically make the running movement. Now this can be a hit or miss at times, but it is a lot of fun, if not extremely tiring. There are various different challenges where you need to climb different buildings as well as puzzles to solve. It's an interesting game to check out, but this version has now become a demo and a paid version will be coming soon. But I think you should still check it out. Number 7. Lurking Shadows. Now let's move on to a horror game. So, do you want an alternative to Five Nights at Freddy's? Well, here you have it. Lurking Shadows is similar but different. I think reading out the premise of the developer covers it pretty well, where you're a nighttime delivery boy on your first shift with a full stack of piping hot pizzas to deliver on a limited power supply. Sound familiar? So your mission is to deliver those pizzas before they get cold. But there's a catch. An ever-growing mass of deadly horrors is lurking in the shadows, and they're after much more than a slice. Fortunately, you're equipped with the perfect tools to take on the nighttime terrors. Armed with a flashlight, mirror, sound emitters, and a taser. It's up to you to fight your way through the chilling horde and make your deliveries with speed and accuracy. Talk about dedication. But keep an eye on your power supply, or you'll have more than cold pizzas to worry about. Can you survive 5 nights on the job? This is basically Five Nights at Freddy's, where you can actually walk and kind of fight a little bit. For a free game, definitely check it out, especially if you love horror games. And even more especially if you don't. Number 8. Dead Man's Quest. Now this is actually a really cool puzzle game. Plus it is made to be played using hand tracking, which is always fun. You can use controllers if you want, but hand tracking is the way to go. You are basically a ghost that possesses the bodies of NPCs to solve puzzles and escape the area. Now the game doesn't have any saves, so you have to play the whole game in one go. And the game is around 45 minutes long, depending on how good you are at puzzles. The graphics are good, the hand tracking works reasonably well, and the puzzles are done really well. Actually, this is an awesome game considering it is free. Don't worry about the saves, as you'll get through the game relatively quickly. But that does make me wish that it was a bit longer. So make sure you check out Dead Man's Quest, especially if you love puzzle games. Number 9. Never Down. Do you like the movement of Gorilla Tag, but wish you had more space to run around with your hands? Well, here we have a game that is kind of like that. This game is very fast paced, where you climb, jump and push off. It's all based off of your own arm movement, so it's very exhausting. It does feel exhilarating to jump around and climb things very quickly, but it will be a serious workout. The graphics are actually pretty good as well. Honestly, for a free game, it is quite fun. Just be careful of motion sickness though. There are varying levels of difficulty and specific tasks that you'll need to achieve. Although when you fall slow and respawn kind of slow as well, so it can take you out the immersion a bit. But overall, Never Down is a pretty decent experience. And finally, number 10. Just another cooking game. Oddly enough, the name matches. It is just another cooking game. But in VR, it's a lot more fun than it sounds. You have to serve robots the food they have ordered. I don't know why robots need to eat burgers, but whatever. You have to make the burgers yourself by adding the buns, cooking the patties, adding the cheese, and making the burgers, etc. There are around 12 levels to progress through. Now please note, this appears to be a project for someone's PhD, so don't expect too much from it. It's an okay game if you enjoy cooking games. Plus, you'll get random surveys to ask your experience. I guess they need the research for their PhD. Although there are better alternatives, but since it's free, there's no harm in checking it out. You might even be helping somebody else out. Well, that's all folks. These are the current top games I've found that you might never have heard of. Remember, I've made a lot more free games videos with other games that you've never heard of, so make sure you check them out in the description. Also, don't forget to enter the giveaway. Well, thanks for watching, have a great day, stay safe and see you next time.